Part 2 on how I became a NICU nurse and how you can become a NICU nurse too, straight out of school. Topics we discussed in part 1 is interviews, certifications, and applying to different hospitals and how to go about like that whole process. Also, what kind of experience you need, if any. Something I learned when interviewing at other hospitals, this is like a unique scenario. This doesn't apply to everyone. This doesn't apply to every hospital. I don't think it applies to most hospitals, most NICUs. But one of the hospitals I interviewed at, I actually was like next in line to be hired as a NICU nurse, but only pending that these specific applications fell through, and those specific applications belonged to these girls who had, or these students who had been working on their NICU during nursing school as some type of assistant or CNA. My specific hospital doesn't even, we don't offer like CNA work for non-graduate nurses. So this isn't the case with every hospital, but if you are offered this opportunity while you're in school to go and work on the NICU, like at a hospital that the school is partnered with, this could be like a way to have priority when it comes to you graduating and then applying to this specific hospital. Because any hospital is gonna put you first if you've had experience on their floor versus some new grad nurse with no experience. In terms of NICU and like being a new grad nurse, there's really not much experience that they expect you to have, especially as a new grad nurse. Some floors that you could work on if you don't get hired in the NICU right away, or you don't necessarily want to start on NICU right away, but you do want to get a feel for taking care of neonates, taking care of babies. Some floors that you could consider are the pediatric ICU. There's definitely going to be NICU type patients there, like the really young ones who like aren't qualified to be on the NICU anymore. But you can get kind of the same sort of experience. Postpartum, labor and delivery, all of these units of course work with newborn babies. You're gonna get an idea of what a healthier baby looks like. It's not gonna be NICU experience, you know, minus the intensive care unit part, but it's still gonna give you a closer experience than like any other random floor, especially in comparison to like an adult med-surg floor. Also the pediatric ER, they do see babies as well. Also nurses that work in PICU and like mother baby, NICU, PICU, these floors, they float nurses like amongst these floors. So like NICU nurses get floated to PICU and PICU gets floated to NICU whenever you need an extra set of hands on the unit. So if you do end up in PICU, this is like another great option to kind of get an in with like this specific like specialty, and you can like easily transfer over to NICU when there's an opening on the unit. Last little tip I will say before signing off is, unlike typical adult ICUs, you do not need adult or med-surg experience to start working on the NICU. NICU is a whole different world. The patients are like completely different in comparison to adult patients. So a common misconception coming out of school might be that, oh, like I need floor experience, you know, on a general med-surg or telefloor or adult floor before going to any ICU. It's not the case with NICU. So don't purposely go and work on a med-surg floor or a basic unit thinking that it's going to get you a higher chance of getting hired in the NICU. Like I said, the best floors to give you a similar experience to the NICU are PICU, postpartum L&D, and pediatric ER.